What is going on, y'all? Robert Sykes, KetoSavage.com. Welcome to week 6 of my 2023 competition prep vlog series. So lots of changes going on this week. Honestly, pretty gradual changes every week, so we're just going to dive into it. I first want to talk about some body scan compositional changes that we've seen. So I got a DEXA scan at the KetoCon conference, which was, let me go here to my body spec. This was with the Body Spec brand DEXA, which I believe uses a GE brand DEXA machine. These are on the van, so there may be a little bit of an inaccuracy there. The measured date was 4/21/23, and the total percent body fat was 14.2. Total mass, 180 pounds. Fat tissue, 25.6. Lean tissue, 148.3. The GE brand DEXA is what I also use as my primary DEXA brand, which is a machine in Little Rock, Arkansas, which is where I got the initial DEXA machine scan. And that's the one that I'm going to be using progressively throughout this prep and into the reverse diet. So the machine in Little Rock at Baptist Health is the one that I'm pretty much basing everything off of. I went ahead and did this DEXA machine at KetoCon because it was there, it was convenient, and I want to kind of see what that data was. So again, according to that, which was on 4/21, body fat of 14.2, total mass of 180.3. I went to Omaha, Nebraska this past weekend to support two of my clients that I had competing, and they have a company there called Upgrade Performance that also has a DEXA machine. So I went ahead and got another DEXA scan there. Now this one uses a different brand of DEXA. This one uses the Hologic, I think is probably the pronunciation. There's two main brands. There's GE and there's Hologic. I use the Hologic. In the past, Hologic has always measured me as having less lean mass and more body fat than the GE brand DEXA machine. So keep that in mind. This is the second time I've gotten a DEXA scan on their specific machine. So this is kind of get a little confusing because I've got the main DEXA machine that's at Baptist Health Little Rock. I've got the one that I did at KetoCon, which I just read off, and then I've got two readings here on this Hologic, which is in Omaha, Nebraska at Upgraded Performance Institute. So I'm going to go ahead and just give you both of those readings. So let's see here. The first measured date was 8/20/2022. This was during the 50-mile march I did last year, so I wasn't even in prep at this point. And my body fat percentage then was, let's see here, 16.9% body fat with a total fat mass of 13,783 grams, total lean mass of 64,974 grams. Kind of breaks down the grams pretty detailed, which I like. So again, a total body fat percentage of 16.9% on this Hologic brand machine on 8/20/2022. Again, before prep started. I got another DEXA scan this past weekend in Omaha while I was supporting my clients for their competitions. So a scan date of 5/14/2023, and my body fat percentage was 13.3. I say all that to say that looking at the GE brand, which I got in on 4/21/2023 at KetoCon, had me at 14.2. Then I went and got the Hologic this past weekend, which is typically always measuring me higher body fat, but it had me at 13.3. So I am definitely losing body fat. That's pretty much what all this sums up to be. But what's interesting is that from this scan on 8/20/2022 and this one I got this weekend on 5/14, my actual lean mass increased. It went from 64,974 to 65,635. So again, I didn't get this Hologic scan at the onset of my prep, so it'd be kind of nice to have that data, but I don't have it. But it's nice to see that my body fat is steadily dropping and my lean mass is steadily increasing. So that's a plus there. I kind of want to dive into some of the, let's go ahead and just touch on my macros here. So this week, my macros are as such. I've got 215 grams of dietary fat, 155 grams of dietary protein, 15 grams of total carbohydrate, and I have been bumping up the stairmaster a little bit. Actually, meant to do 14 minutes at level 12 on the Stairmaster, but I forgot to hit my stopwatch, and I actually accidentally did 18 minutes at level 12 on the Stairmaster, and that kind of kicked my butt a little bit, but it's nice to be doing the Stairmaster again. My weight has been actually trending upward a little bit this week, not up in totality, but up from where it should be. And the reason for that is because I injured myself on Wednesday. I was doing sumo deadlifts on Wednesday, and so that would be 510, and that's when my weight was actually the highest this week. So I injured myself. I was doing sumo deadlifts. I was doing 455 pounds, and on the 9th rep, I pulled something in my back. I literally felt it in that instant. It was an acute injury. I could tell that I had pulled something, so I cut it quits there, and I noticed a significant increase in inflammation. My back's been sore for the past 4 days, and literally the scale was up from that fluid retention as a result of that acute inflammation the next day. So, and it has been up a little bit higher as a result of that. I've almost recovered from it, but that is why my weight is not down as low as it should be this week. So, one of those little nagging injuries you kind of have to work around, deal with. I've been doing a lot of movements and exercises since that injury that do not load my spine, so as to give it some time to decompress. But I feel like I'm probably 99% recovered from that, so feeling pretty good going into this next week. So that's kind of what my weight trend has been doing. Still trending down overall, so feeling good about that. Again, that's what my macros were: 215 fat, 155 protein, 15 total carbs, which is a total fat ratio of 74% of my total calories coming from dietary fat. Now that broken down into the macros looks as such. I have 3 tablespoons of heavy cream in the morning in my tea. I have 150 grams, so a full keto brick of the chocolate peanut butter cup keto brick for meal 1. And then meal 2 is 6 eggs, a pound of ground beef, that's 85 to 15 ground beef, and then that's cooked in 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. So that's pretty much what I've been doing there. I have been putting a little bit of kelp, like a bull kelp is what's called, bull kelp flakes on my meal, and my second meal. That's going to provide a good source of iodine. That's not listed here as supplements, but I do put bull kelp iodine on my, it's just seaweed that has a great source of iodine naturally occurring. I've been sprinkling that on my food because it just kind of gives it some texture and, again, provides me that iodine. Speaking of supplements, let's dive into this. So this is the supplements I'm currently taking. We'll start this in. I've been doing elements. I'll typically have about 3 of these a day. I apologize. I posted this graphic of my macro breakdown on Instagram, and somebody was asking, hey, are you really only taking in 600 milligrams of sodium a day? No, definitely not only taking in 600 milligrams of sodium a day. I don't typically add my sodium to my macro tracker. I'm probably around 5,000 or 6,000 milligrams of sodium a day, but I'll typically have 2 or 3 of these element packets and or Relight as my primary form of electrolytes. I like the flavor of the element better. I like the profile from an electrolyte standpoint of the Relight better. I like that it's got a 2-to-1 ratio. They both have pros and cons. But Element's really good. They've been sending me boxes of this stuff. It all tastes amazing. So huge shout out to Element there. I've also been taking BioOptimizer's Magnesium Breakthrough. I take 2 of these capsules at night right before going to bed. This is basically just a comprehensive magnesium formula. It's got in 2 capsules, you have you got some vitamin B6, you've got some elemental magnesium, and that comes in the form of magnesium chelate, magnesium biglycinate. You've got magnesium malate, magnesium orotate, magnesium taurate, magnesium citrate, and manganese citrate. So basically just a comprehensive, all different types of forms of magnesium. So I've been having 2 of those capsules at night prior to going to bed. I've been having 6 of these optimal carnivore grass-fed organ complex pills a day as well. I normally throw in like a liverwurst or something like that, some type of organ blend into my meal prep, but I haven't done that thus far, so I've been trying to get some organ meats in via the pills. Just makes things easy. They've also got a cognitive brain line and like a joint version as well. So between this or one of those other 2, I'll have 6 capsules of this at some point in the day. I've been taking 5 grams of creatine monohydrate every single day. Creatine monohydrate is great. Everybody should take it. It's been studied more than any other supplement. You don't need to load it or cycle off of it. Just simply 5 grams of a plain, simple creatine monohydrate, all you need. This is the Bayer Performance Nutrition brand. I've tried this one. Cynthia Thurlow sent me some. I've tried hers. Probably my favorite one thus far from a mixability standpoint is First Form's creatine monohydrate. That one mixes really well and has worked pretty well for me. But they're all about the same. Just a good quality, simple creatine monohydrate is all you need. Shout out to my boy Jay Shane, the Keto Road. I've been having his energized reds in the morning as I work out, pretty much as like a pre-workout / intra-workout with 1 packet of Element. So I put 1 packet of Element and 1 scoop of this in my pre or intra-workout mix. This is simply it's just like a kind of catch-all. You've got total calories, 14 calories, so not very much from a caloric load. Total carbohydrate, 3 grams. Fat is 0, protein is 0, less than 1 gram protein. But basically what we have in here is we got beetroot juice powder, we got beet extract, we got matcha green tea powder, chlorella powder, blueberry powder, vita cherry, whole tart cherry extract, goji berry extract, aronia fruit extract, sweetened with stevia, contains malic acid, naturally flavored, citric acid, silicon dioxide, and stevia leaf extract. So it's basically just a reds blend. So you've got like your green superfoods, your red superfoods. This is the red superfood. I don't feel, honestly, any increase in energy per se. Like it's not like a pre-workout that gives you a bolus of caffeine. There's no caffeine in here, apart what occurs naturally from these herbs and plants. But I think it's like 35 milligrams total, so not very much from a caffeine standpoint, which I like. It tastes really good for a greens blend. And it's not like a greens blend like, again, it's not even a greens blend, it's a reds blend. But a lot of greens blends taste like you're eating lawn clippings. You don't get that with this. So huge shout out to Jonathan. I like this stuff a lot. I've been having it with 1 scoop of this or 1 packet of this. Tastes great, and I just feel pretty good. I've also been doing 1 pill of these a day. This is Tongat Ali, 100 milligrams. I may play around with a different brand, but this is supposedly going to increase naturally occurring levels of testosterone and free testosterone. I don't know if the mechanism is through decreasing sex hormone binding globulin. I'm not really sure what the actual mechanism is. I need to do a deep dive on this, but I did verify that this is cleared from a safe substance standpoint with all the natural federations. It's just an herb. I believe it's an herb root extract or powder. So this is just a pure, I mean, a lot of them have a whole bunch of other things in it. This is just simply the pure Tongat Ali root. So been having that a day. There's also another one that's called Fedosia, I believe. I think Andrew Huberman made a podcast on it to be paired with the Tongat Ali. So I'm going to do a little research on the Fedosia and see if I want to incorporate that. So that's kind of what I'm taking from a supplement standpoint. Honestly, super simple. I don't do anything crazy from a supplement standpoint. I'm not taking pre-workouts. I'm not taking excessive caffeine. I'm not taking, a bunch of amino acids. I'm not taking any of that stuff. I'm just simply having this root extract, a greens blend, creatine, an organ blend, magnesium, and electrolytes. Like, it doesn't get much simpler than that. So, a little long-winded. Hopefully you got something out of this. We got my macro shifts. We got my body scans. We got the supplements I'm taking. So that pretty much concludes week 6 of this contest prep vlog series. We will see y'all for week 7, reeling it in 1 week at a time.